We are learning Hilchos Yom HaKippurim, Perek Gimel Halacha Yud Aleph. Be'eshe koirei. While he's reading the Torah, Mevorach lefoneo la'achareho, the Kohen Gadol makes a bracha before it and afterwards. Keder shemevorach meveis hakneses, just like we do today in the shul. U'moisev la'achareho sheva brachos. Let's see what the Peirush says here. As we find in the Tefillah, that after you read the Kriya, you make Broch Hashanos Hanlonu. In the Mishnah, it's called Birchas HaTorah. And he adds after it Sheva Brochas, Ve'elohein, 7 Brochas. These are them. The first one is Ritzei Hashem Alekeinu, which is like in Tefillah Shemona Esrei. In the Mishnah, this Broch is called Avoida. Just that in the time of the Beis HaMikdash, they would not end Hamachzeh Shchinos of Tzion. He who was going to return his divine presence to Tzion, since he's residing in the Beis HaMikdash already. The Rambam did not explain what is the end of the blessing. Rashi in the Mishnah and Yuma explains that they ended the bracha that you alone shall we with fear serve. Today there are communities that I am telling, and on the high holidays, we at the time of the Kahanim go up to the podium to give Birchas Kahanim, the blessings of the Kahanim. They say Orei lefonecha asiroseno, may our in treatments come before you, and the end of the bracha is that to you alone with fear shall we serve. In the Mishnah, the kavanah is to like we say in Shemona Esrei, and he answers and he signs it off with the reasoning that the blessing of thanks is close to the blessing of service, because it says in Tillim, Sever Toido, somebody who brings an offering, Yechav Donani. First, you give an offering, that he serves, it does the avodah, and then Toido, you say thank you. Then you make a bracha. Slach lanu avinu. The third bracha is forgive us. Kichotonu. And you end bracha Hashem Moichal Avonis Amar Yisrael Barachman. Here the Rambam does say the language of the words that are included in the signature, and it is different from the rest of the year, that you end he who is a merciful one who gives a lot of forgiveness. According to Rashi, the nusach of the bracha is forgive our sins on Yom Kippur, this Yom Kippur, and he signs Melech Moichel V'Solech Lavaniseinu. And it's a little different in the language of the Rambam. Harei shalosh brochos kitukonon. Here we have 3 of the brochos. Then he makes a vorach al hamikdash brocha b'fnei atzmo. It's a separate brocha. And Yi and Yona, the main body of the blessing is sheyamoid hamikdash. It should remain standing v'shechino b'seichoi, with the divine presence within it v'choisim bo. And he concludes Borat Hashem sheichem b'tzion. Blessed is he, Hashem, who dwells in Zion. Not a master Shinosa, because the Beis HaMikdash is standing. Now, afterwards he makes a bracha on Yisrael b'fnei atzmo. What does this mean? What does he say? Sheyashi Hashem is Yisrael. God should give salvation to Yisrael. Lo yosu man melech, and they should not lack for a king. And he signs Borat Hashem. Blessed are you, Hashem, who chose the Jewish people. They make a bracha on the Kehanim, bracha b'fnei atzmo. A separate bracha in Yona, which entails within it, shiur yirtze hamokim ma'aseim v'avedosum. HaKadosh Baruch Hu should desire their actions and their service. V'yivorchem, he should bless them. V'choisim, and he concludes with the following: Baruch atah Hashem, Mekadesh HaKohanim, he who sanctifies the Kohanim. Rashi in the Mishnah writes that he concludes Baruch Shebocha B'Zarah Shel Aaron, and he says the same thing regarding Yisrael, a bit different than the Rambam. Argach Oimet Tvilo Utchino, then he says his own private prayer and request, beseechment, Verino, and Bakosha, Kavi Asher Royal. He asks for whatever he can according to the ability of his tongue to speak that which he needs. And he concludes, Hashem is out for Yisrael, save your Hashem, your nation Yisrael, because the people of Israel need salvation. And he signs off or concludes, Baruch Atah Hashem, Shemea Tefillah. Blessed are you, Hashem, who hearkens to prayer. Gazan Mishnah writes, all these words of the Rambam are found in the Mishnah Yuma 68b. Just the conclusion is not clarified in the Gemara. The Yerushalmi, some of them are mentioned in Tais Yontiv, in Yuma, Mishnah Zion, Perek Zion, Mishnah Aleph, and other later commentaries say that the Rambam is talking about who writes Yiyu Inyonam. This is what's included. It seems from his language that he can add things to it. The main thing is that this should be included in it. And so to Moshe Feinstein Zatzal in the Amerigeres Moshe writes that this is the meaning of the Rambam, and there he goes extensively into all the things that has to be said in Loshen HaKodesh, the Hebrew language, if he has to say it in the Loshen of the Torah, or he can even say it in any language that he wants, just that the main brocha and the reading of it, the stating of it should be done in Loshen HaKodesh. In the Beis HaMikdash, they used to conclude every brocha with Baruch Atah Hashem Elikei Yisrael min ha'olam ad ha'olam, rather than Baruch Atah Hashem Elikeinu melech ha'olam. And even though the Rambam doesn't mention it here, still he says he enumerates it in Hilchos Yom HaKippurim.